Drag and drop contact form wizards. In this video, we'll go over the drag and drop contact form wizards and how they differ depending on the contact form we are creating. The first spot we'll have to go to is to lead generation. And here, on the right sidebar, we can see the different types of contact forms we can create. Let's start with a basic form or an iframe. Starting from the beginning, we are prompted with selecting what type of form we want to create. These templates pre-configure a bunch of fields that we can add or subtract from the contact form. We'll start with the basic newsletter sign-up form, which includes the full name and email address fields. On the next step, we can configure the headline, and the content. As you can see, the changes we are making to these fields can be seen live on a preview panel to the right side. Next are the input fields. In here, we can determine what information we'll be asking for in the contact form itself. We have a wide selection of fields available to us. Phone number, date of birth, other contact info, and of course we can add an agreement, consent from consent list, and custom text. To edit a field, we need to click on a green pencil to the right of its name. This will prompt a pop-up with that specific field settings. One of the most important things to include in a contact form is a consent from consent list. This allows us to ask a contact if they're okay with us processing their information and if they want to receive emails. Your consents are handled in the general settings of the account. However, we can still add a new consent form . Once we have configured the contact form, we can proceed on to the next step. Here we can configure the appearance of a small thank you pop-up that will display when a contact has successfully filled in the form itself. We have an option of adding an image from the image gallery. Keep in mind, any part of the contact form can be viewed using the bottom right menu, aligned with the device setting menu in the bottom center of the screen to see how each feature will look like in a different setting, whether it is on a personal computer, a tablet device, or on the mobile phone. The next step involves the configuration of a confirmation email. This email will be sent automatically when a contact has filled in the contact form. We can add an image to the overall email, change which account will be sending the email, or add a new one, edit the subject line of the email, add a pre-header, and edit the actual content. This includes the confirmation message and the confirmation button. As usual, you can see the changes take effect live on a preview panel to the right side. You can then configure the behavior of the confirmation button. We can either display another notification, or redirect a contact to a page determined by us. On the next step, we have some general settings for the form. First is the form name that will appear in the system. The page title, what tags will be added when a contact fills in the form, and which tags will be added to the contact when they have confirmed their subscription by clicking on the confirmation link in the confirmation email. Having two different tags for each allows us to determine contacts that have subscribed through the contact form but have not confirmed their subscription. By including all the contacts with the subscription tag, but excluding all contacts with the confirmation tag. This was the creator for the landing page. Next is the creator for the exit pop-up or a regular pop-up. The steps in this creator are virtually identical. The difference is, however, that aside from the general settings, we also can determine the behavior of the pop-up, whether it shows up on mobile devices, whether we want to display this contact form to identified contacts or contacts that are already existent in our CRM, any delays in displaying the pop-up. For example, If we use the setting side is scrolled when 50% of the page has been scrolled through, the pop-up will not appear until at least half of the page has been scrolled. After 5 page views, ensures that the pop-up will not appear on the first visit of the contact on a page, depending on the settings we choose. We also have the time delay from the minute the contact visits the page, and the option to set the on-exit behavior for the pop-up. This behavior does not work on mobile devices, as it is determined by the movement of the cursor on the website. Since the pop-up is tied to our monitoring code, we have to determine exactly which website from the monitor pages we want to display it on. We can choose to display it on all pages and subpages, only displayed on a main page. In that case, sesmonalgo.com/pricing will not display the pop-up. If the URL contains a specific phrase or phrases, or excluding the URLs including the phrases. This was the pop-up creator. Next is our landing page creator. The landing page creator, as well as the sidebar creator, use the more advanced version of the drag and drop creator. First, we determine the name of the landing page, the owner of any contacts that come into the system through this landing page, and whether or not it is shared. Next, we have the drag and drop creator for the actual landing page itself. We can determine the layout of the page itself, which widgets are included, which is similar to the drag and drop creator of our emails, allowing us to manually arrange different fields between each other. Each widget has its own settings in the settings icon marked in blue. This includes the contact form widget, which again allows us to add different fields. In field layout, we can choose the arrangement of each field, the spacing settings, and the appearance of the confirmation button. We can also preview our landing page by clicking on a preview pane on the top right. Configuring the thank you page uses the same creator as the landing page itself. Keep in mind that some of the spacing may be different on the live version. To view the final and true appearance of your contact form or the page that you are configuring using the drag-and-drop creator, make sure to frequently check the preview panel. The confirmation email stage, again, uses the same creator that we've used so far. It is important to always include the opt-in link widget, as this is the way the contact will confirm their subscription to your newsletters. On the next stage, we have the familiar options for segmentation and a setting that will allow us to receive a notification when a new contact has signed up for the form. In the final settings for the landing page, we will have to determine whether we want to simply create an HTML code of the page so that you can host the landing page on your own site, or let Salesman Go create a new landing page for you. This will mean, however, that the page will be hosted on Salesman Go domain. If we choose the option to create the landing page on Salesman Go domain, we have a few additional options. We can decide when the page will be created, and where will be the user directed if they come to the page before it is published. We can redirect them to another landing page or redirect them to a different URL. Likewise, we can change the expiration date of the page itself and redirect the user to a different page afterwards. This was the landing page creator. Now, let's proceed to the sidebar creator. The sidebar creator goes through the same steps as the landing page creator. There are, however, few additional settings. For example, the preview panel allows us to add a few more settings. Namely, we can change the settings of the window including the height, width, the background and border color, the placement of the sidebar itself, and we can also change the closing image of the sidebar itself. Make sure that the height and the width matches the aspect ratio of the image that we will choose to use for a closing image. The difference is also in the final settings. We can choose who will see the sidebar, as well as how many visits or page views the contact may need in order to see the sidebar. Remember, visits are simply page views grouped together if the time between them is less than 3 hours. For forms, landing pages, and sidebars, the creator generates a code that we will then have to paste into the website. Please follow the specific instructions for each. If you wish to gain the code of each form, again, you can go to the Edit panel and proceed to the last step, or click the Download Code button. For more information, you can visit our help page at support.salesmanago.com.